of tonight, and that, well, one and two kind of ran together, so we've taken care of that. We can move on to number 3. Ooh, wait, before I do that, y'all might want to get y'all another. I'm adding a little Southern Comfort to my. If y'all need to refresh your tea, now's the time to do it. Because we're about to talk about Jaguar Wright. Ooh, I feel like Medea. Ooh, baby. Have y'all heard anything about Jag? I know Tracy heard about Jaguar because we kind of chatted a little bit about it earlier today. What do y'all know about what's going on with the entertainment community and Jaguar Wright? Please do me a favor and share the stream. Please share the stream. You all help me to build my platform. My plan with this platform is to build it so that when we go to Africa in February, I got something to share. Right? I got something to share. By that time, I hope to be able to have more than 1,000 subscribers, and therefore I can go from my camera and I can document what we have decided to do and what we are doing in Gambia. I haven't shared all of that online, some of that I had to talk to you personally about, but I will tell you that my family have begun to put things in motion, not just talk about what we may do. So we'll talk about that in person. If you want to know more about that. And if you want to know more about the upcoming trip, because we are going in February. We need to go in February. So if you are interested in going, let me know. Let me know. We'll talk about that privately. Okay, let's see. Tracy says she needs to be covered in prayer. I fear for her life. Out of the headline, she seems bitter and messy. Don't know how much of it is credible. Okay, exactly. So my brother was the one that put me on to this. He said, what you know about Jaguar Wright? And I told him, I said, I don't know a lot about her music, but I do know that she's a neo-soul singer and that she was, I want to say, it seemed like I remember there was a compilation album on Hidden Beach back in the time. That would have been about 98, 99 when Jill and Erica was really hot. And they was doing all those hip hop compilations. You know, they had Common and they were doing them with Method Man and Mary J. They throw some Mary J in there. I know y'all remember that time. And if I remember correctly, there was a Hidden Beach CD that Jaguar Wright, for me, was introduced to me on, right? Oh, that was my first introduction to her. So I did write a little bit about her. Let me just tell you much about. Other than that, I'll tell you what Wikipedia says, at least some of it. They say that her name, of course, is Jacqueline Suzette Wright. She was born on May 17, 1977. Better known for her stage name, Jaguar Wright, is an American R&B neo-soul singer and songwriter. She's a part of the OK Player Collective, and Wright has performed and collaborated alongside rap acts such as The Roots, Jay-Z, and Black Alicious. Now, I don't remember her with The Roots, but apparently that's where she got her real start, with The Roots. So she's been around for a minute, but she just hasn't been as popular. And I know she can sing. The guy can sing. I remember that. The guy can sing, right? But here's the thing. Apparently, allegedly, Jaguar Wright was more around than we ever knew her to be around. It sounds like, and I haven't heard it refuted, that Jaguar has been around since she was a itty bitty. Y'all, please share the stream. Share with somebody you know. So invite them into this conversation. But she apparently has been around a long time. She said that she had a uncle who brought her up in the business. And I think, if I remember correctly, don't quote me, his name was Kenny Gamble, I think she said. But uncle was also a musician, had been around in the music industry and pulled her along because she had the gift. All right. So she talks about when she was 5, 6, 7 years old, but young girl, that she was in a lot of studio sessions, helping taking out the trash and whatever, because she was just kind of like, a studio brat. It's pretty much what it sounds like. But she got put on by the Roots, apparently. Okay, Tracy said Kenny Gamble is big in the industry. I never heard his name before, but apparently he's big in the hip hop industry. So she said he always had her around, but the Roots, I think, is the ones who really put her out there. But Jaguar Wright, who, was just kind of, she has just kind of meandered through. You know, you see her over here at this concert, or you might hear that she was on this album doing something, or you might hear that she performed with somebody somewhere. So she was never really like a super popular staple like Jill Scott may have been. You know, everybody knew her name, or Erykah Badu would have been. She was definitely in the mix, and you kind of seen her float in and out. I remember that, right? Ooh. But Jaguar Wright has been on YouTube going ham for about 2 months, and she has just about everybody in the anybody in the neo soul industry, just about, and those hip hop artists that kind of weaved in and out, you know, because they were collabing together, that kind of thing. She started tearing them new holes. She started tearing them new holes. Now, what has caused all of this, I'm not really sure, but she says that God told her that if she didn't set the record straight and she didn't expose these people, that she would lose her voice. And she said, I'm not going to lose my voice. So I've been watching clips, right? Let me tell you what the stuff that really stuck out the most to me. I thought, oh, I got to stop. You know, I thought I was just going to kind of flip through, but I had to stop to hear what she was saying. What the fuck did she just say? Oh my God. I know she ain't talking about Julie from Philly. I know she ain't talking about Julie from Philly, you know. Hell yeah, she's talking about Julie from Philly and everybody else. But let me just I just wrote a few notes down because I thought I don't want to forget to tell y'all this. So Jill Scott, for instance, you know, and when I say that she talks about this, she gives examples of when she was together and when this happened. And da, 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 da. She said Jill Scott is a whore. Period. She said that she's a fucking whore. And she went on to say that the reason that she had that space of infertility was because of all the fucking venereal diseases that she had, all the scarring from the venereal diseases. She said that Jill plays that whole, you know, nice and sweet girl. She said, but she ain't. She said, who in the world? She said, who you know hire all their friends, ex-boyfriends, so she can fuck them? Who you know do that? Went ham. That wasn't all she said, but that was the basis of it. Erykah Badu, whore. And she said that she and Jill, according to Jaguar, she and Jill Scott were best friends at one time. She said, but Jill ain't no good. She ain't no good whatsoever. She said, and that her and Jill her and Erykah have worked together to make sure that no other female artists can come up. When she got up to Erykah Badu, she said Erykah Badu is a whore. Right? She also said, she didn't say this. I'm saying this. I'm summing up what she said. That she's a castrator of men. She said every time Erykah get with a man, he loses fucking mind. She said she wish. This is funny to me. She said that she wished that she would go ahead and she said she wished that she would go ahead and let Andre 3000 go. Leave him the fuck alone and get his drawers out of her front, unearth his drawers from her front yard. Referencing, I mean, that would suggest that she was doing some witchcraft, that she was a witch, right? She said, got that grown man, I think she said 40 something years old, whatever she said, running around playing a fucking flute. Okay, let me look at what Tracy said. She said, everybody she's called out, she's looked dead in the camera and said, if I'm lying, sue me. No lawsuits yet. I believe Jack. Tracy, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going on to say. I'm coming back to that. I'm going to lay out some more of this, and I'm coming right back to what you just said. Talib Kweli, she said he's a punk. Now, she said she had a whole extramarital relationship with him. She did. I mean, this is interesting too. She be calling folk out, but she tell you what she did. Now, if she's telling all of what she did, I don't know. But she is saying some stuff that I wouldn't repeat to nobody. One of the things is that she was in a whole marriage, and she said I was fucking Willie. She said, and some other men, and it had me a bitch too. I said, huh? She talks about how they were on the OK Player tour, and she said Talib Kweli was her dude, right? And she had a whole husband at home. She said, and then she said her husband was a punk ass. She said the only reason that she married her husband is because he was going to. She said her husband was trying to blackmail her and destroy her career by telling everybody that she was bisexual. And so the way she got around that was to marry him. But the way she tell it, she didn't want nothing to do with him, but he blackmailed her, and so she was with him. So she had a husband, she said, and she was fucking Talib Kweli on a regular. That was her dude during the OK Player tour. She went on to say, let me see what Life Her Way says. Big says, who was the heavy bitch? I don't know. I missed that part. I don't know. But she said that her husband got wind of it because somebody went and told it. Somebody was mad at her and went and told it. I think I want to say she said who was, but I can't remember who she said. Anyway, they went and told it, she said, and then her husband, she said, used her credit card, got on the flight, didn't tell her nothing, showed up at the joint. And she said Talib Kweli started running like a bitch. Running around to my son, oh, Jag's husband. Oh, Jag's husband. She said she looked at her, she said, are you really? That's what you're doing? She said, he's a fucking punk. Punch him in his fucking face and get rid of him. What are you talking about? Right? Corey said, what's her motivation? Even if it's all true, what is she getting from it? Why now? I think I need to watch the videos. I've been avoiding them. No, you got to watch these videos. Hold that thought. I'm going to come back to what I think it is. All right. Talib Kweli, she laid him out and said that was her man, and she laid him out. And what's interesting is, back to what Tracy said, only one person that I saw, and she's been at this for about 2 months, only one person that I saw came back and tried to refute any of it, and that was Talib Kweli. This is what's interesting, though. He said in his response that some of those people that they somehow talked to me. They told me don't worry about it, not to address it. But no, I'm going to address it. I'm going to address it. And then he didn't address it. What he did, and I said when he got finished, I said that's why they told you not to say shit, because ain't nothing you said changed nothing she said. When he came back with his rebuttal, he didn't refute anything that she said. All he did was try to put, especially the Roots crew, she laid them out. He tried to take all those people and put them on a pedestal and talk about what all they done for the Black community and how they were philanthropists and how they had worked in the community doing this, that, and the other. And what has Jag done in the Black community? What has she done for the Black community? Nothing. As if what they done in the Black community would cancel out all that shit that she said. Because, for instance, the Roots, Talib Kweli, and some of those other ones, she talked about their culture of gang rape and misogyny as if they did it as often as they ate food, is the way she talked about it. Like it was second nature to them to gang bang women on a regular, up and down the highway, and leave some of them at truck stops and bus stops with their purses in the car, and then tell them, they call and say, we'll mail it to you, some shit like that. She said the way she said this was this is regular behavior for them. She talked about a time where she said that she would get on. There were times that she'd be so tired, and she set the situation up. She talked about how what a day would look like, in the life of an entertainer, a on the road entertainer. And so she talks about what all she would have done in a day. She said, then can you imagine when a day is over, come back, I come to get on the bus, the tour bus, so I can go to sleep. And I got to walk around and crawl through these men with their phallic tools in women's mouths, and several of them at one time, and all this kind of crazy stuff. She said, they look at me and say and tell me, oh, you can get past. Oh, I'm gonna move you so you can get past, and keep on doing what they're doing. Tracy says she makes it sound like Diddy is worse than R. Kelly. Oh, did I even write him down? That was horrible. I'm gonna come back to that. She sure did. So the roots, she said, all that shit they've been singing about, that conscious shit. She talked as if gang rape was it's what they did, like they smoke cigarettes or whatever. They gang, that's what they do. This is what they do. And they didn't care if anybody saw it or anybody if anybody had wind of it, because they all protected each other. Talib Kweli never said that wasn't the case. He never said that. All he said was, Bruce, are you trying to refute Black Thought's pen? Are you trying to take away from what this brother can do with his pen? Or what? Who said anything about a pen? Nobody said nothing about she's talking about animalistic behavior, period. Stuff that should be prosecuted. And he talking about the man can write, the man can rap. Okay, Tracy said, Corey, I think it's a cleansing for her. She's seen a lot and feels guilty, and that that's interesting, because she did say something like that. She said that she had to tell what she did. She said, I had to tell it. As a matter of fact, she may have used the word cleansing. No, she didn't say cleansing. She used the word, she said, something like it's my repentance or something like that. Same idea, right? Vita said not a pen, but a penis. Right. Yeah, so she said something to that effect, Tracy. She did. All right. Common. She said Common is a molester, but not of other people. She talked about him sexually assaulting her. That's what it would be, not molested, but sexual assault. But what she said, that was interesting. I was like, I don't know but I'm gonna tell you what she said. She said that they were in a relationship, that they were together, that they were sleeping together and all that. But she said that she woke up one day and he had his penis up trying to get it in her mouth while she was asleep. And she said, what the? She said, I am a rape survivor. You gonna put your in my mouth, and while I'm asleep, and I'm a rape survivor? Are you kidding me? And she said that was it. She was done with him. So I don't know if I agree. Because I don't know what that sex looked like before that. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't, to me, something odd that he might do that, because I don't know what it looked like. So I don't know if I agree with that, but she did say that, and she kept saying it on several occasions, on several interviews. And she said that he was awkward, sexually awkward and socially awkward. Basically, when she basically, I don't know if she ever said these words, but this is certainly what she meant. That swag ain't real. It ain't even real. He ain't got no swag. He corny, she said, and she said, and he was clingy. I said, damn. She said he ain't really never been right since. And she didn't say anything bad about her that I know of it, but she did mention her. And if she said anything bad, I missed this part. She said he wasn't right the moment Lauryn Hill was through with him. She said he ain't been right since then. I was like, damn. But she didn't say anything about Lauryn that I knew of. And another person that she didn't touch, I thought was interesting. She never said anything about Music Soul Child. And somebody addressed and asked about Music Soul Child. She said, I don't really know much about. I don't know anything about him. For the most part, is what she said. Because Tracy said, I didn't get that they were in a relationship. Yeah. But see, there were snippets of several interviews in different places. She said, yeah, they were in a relationship. She said she always thought he was gay. Oh, okay. Mary J. Blige. She said Mary J. Blige. And then I saw something yesterday where a former Diddy guard came behind. He said that Jasmine said something about me. Jaguar said something about him. I can't remember what he said. I think he said that Jaguar said that he ran from Bad Boy or something like that. He addressed that. He addressed what she said. He said, that's not true. He said, I did not run from Bad Boy. He said, I left because I wanted to leave. He said, but, now listen to this. This is P. Diddy's security guard. He said, but I salute you, Queen, for what you're doing. He said, because that shit she's saying is the truth. I saw that yesterday. Big guy who's apparently he was around for a long time, but he finally left. He said, I salute you, Queen. He said, because that shit she telling is the truth. All right. Tracy said, she dragged Mary. I try not to debate what a woman considers rape. Is it already hard enough for a woman to open up about it? Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, Mary. Baby. The way she tell it, Mary was the bad boy hoe. Period. She said they used to run trains on her on a regular. That she used to take it on a regular. That it was part of, like it was a contract. Like they had to, that was part of the contract, whether it was written or not, that whatever they wanted from her, she had to be able to give it. And that several of them. And if it meant another camp, then it meant another camp. So maybe it wasn't bad, but maybe it go somewhere else. But she had to be ready for whatever they, and she was ready, according to, from what I understand from Jaguar. She was ready. And that is the way it's been for her since the beginning and still is today. She said she's a whore. She's a crybaby. She said because all of that apparently gained her a place where nobody else would come up behind her. And she said that there were places that she would go where people would love her music and want to sign her. And then she said she'd get through and they say to her, you know what? I hate to say it. She said a record producer, whatever, say, I hate to do it, but I'm not gonna be able to sign you. Matter of fact, nobody's gonna sign you as long as Mary J is on is that Bad Boy. It's not gonna happen. Because of the way she tells it, there were contracts or there are agreements between Diddy and a lot of these other people that nobody would touch Mary. But Mary had to be open for everybody's thing in whatever way she could get it or had to take it. The same guy that was a security guard for Diddy that said that Jag was telling the truth, in his video yesterday that I saw, he said, that's just she said about Mary. He's shaking his head. And he said, I remember, he said, I was sitting down talking to Mary J. He said, Mary J said to me, he said, I was a security guard. He said, Mary J said to me, you know how much dick I had to suck to be here? And he said, he was like, oh. He said, I looked. He said, then I was like, don't stop now, Mary. He said, no, I'm just kidding. He said, but no, honestly, Mary said that to me. Jaguar dragged her so bad. She said she's untalented. She ain't got no talent. And then she told his story. And one video, she told this story that she said she overheard Diddy giving a speech to his interns. And in his speech, you all do me a favor, please share the stream. Please share. Yes, she did, Tracy, say that Mary J. Blige was a closet lesbian and that she was doing stuff with women around the corners and hoping nobody didn't see it. She said that she overheard him tell his interns this it was supposed to be a pep talk. But during this pep talk, she said that he said, this is the pep, so he's preaching. I ain't gonna get into all that part, but this is what the message was. That at Bad Boy Records, they don't sign talented people. They sign untalented people. He said, because what we gonna teach this industry is, you don't need no talented motherfucker, because a talented motherfucker gonna try to tell you when they gonna do what they gonna do, how they gonna do it. But if you find somebody who ain't got no talent and you make them into a star, then you got that full control over who that is. Basically, that was the message. I'm summarizing, but that was the message. She said, I heard him say that in my own ears, she said, as a pep talk to his interns. So that has always been Diddy's process, to find non-talented people and turn them into stars, because then he would have their loyalty and they do anything to keep that position. And when he said it, when she had this particular interview was with Storm Monroe, and he started saying, oh, now that explains everything. And he started just kind of rattling off people that have been with Bad Boy who aren't talented. And I immediately, when she said the first thing, I was like, I don't even see nobody else. Mary J ain't never been talented to me. I ain't never thought she could sing. I think she got good music. I never thought she could sing. I never thought Mary J could sing. And apparently, according to Jaguar Wright, that was always the issue, that he was looking for people that, she said, oh my God, when she said, tell the truth, Mary. Every time she said it, she almost said it like they said on 227. Tell the truth, Mary. She said, where did he find you? Where he found you, she said, at a shopping mall singing badly. I just about lost it. The last thing that I wrote, that I heard her say about Mary J, and I thought, this is horrible. She talked about that BET Award, 2019 BET Award. She said, your Lifetime Achievement Award. Oh, she said, there's another thing that she said, and I thought, wow, that hit like a ton of bricks. She talked about Kendu, her ex-husband, the fact that she had to pay him all that money for alimony or palimony, whatever it's called when you're a man. She said, all that you've done for Bad Boy Records, they acting like you this or that, make you thinking you this or that. She said, if Diddy cared anything about you, he would have. She said, when Kendall tried to get you for all your money, if he cared anything about you, she said, Diddy would have pulled him to the side and said to him, bruh, let me $50 million. Let Mary live. She said, but he didn't do that though, did he? Diddy marry? He didn't do that, did he? Because he don't give a fuck about you. She said, who are you? Who are you? She said, she was like the queen of goddamn soul. What you are, this is one last thing I wrote down, is the longest working monkey at the show, at the carnival, I think she said. The longest. She said, what kind of a Lifetime Achievement Award? You should have got an award for being the longest working monkey in the show. And when she said that, the guy that was interviewing her started doing that break thing that she do because she looked so darn tired because I went back and looked at it. I never seen it. I went back and looked at that and I thought, oh my God, she looked horrible. She looked tired. She looked like she was too damn old to be up there doing that shit. It's horrible. It's horrible. And so was that that performance. And the voice, when I heard that, because I didn't watch the BET Awards. I went back to just see that video. When I saw that video, I said, damn, the least they could have done, because clearly she hadn't practiced in a very long time. I said that the least they could have done was tell her, look, we're going to get you in the studio a couple months before the award so that you can warm up your pipes and be ready. She sounded horrible. I mean, horrible. And the dance routines was, she looked like an old woman trying to be 20. She could hardly move. She already stiff. So in this, she like, it was horrible. It was horrible. Okay, Tracy said, but talk about wait, hold on. She said she's a closet. Okay, and then she said, but talk about how Diddy jumped past Andre Harrell because he's Clive Davis's bitch. Yeah. She also talked about, I mean, she was giving names too. When she would tell something, if it wasn't her involved, she would get a name of the person who said it and be like, sorry, and tell a name. So she told this story about how it's some woman told her, she was working for Diddy at the time as, I think, a lawyer or something like that. But the point of it is, she walked in the office because the door was unlocked. She had to talk to Diddy. She said she walked in the office and found Christopher Williams giving Diddy a blowjob. But the girl said she walked in the office and they never stopped. So the girl came out, she was just distraught. She's like, oh Lord, probably trying to think, what is this? Where am I? Is this the Twilight Zone? So she said, did he come out and he starts playing mind games? Well, so what you gonna tell? What you gonna tell? Well, the story continues with the fact that he tells her this ain't about sex, this is about control. Because if I can make a motherfucker something, I gotta make a motherfucker do anything, all control. But apparently, the way she tell it, he was only doing to Christopher Williams the same thing that Andre Harrell did to him. So that seemed to be a pattern where that's what they did in the control to make you perform fellatio, because that's what they wanted you. That was the control piece, so that everybody that wanted to stay in the clique had to be willing to take one in the throat. Melissa said, I saw that. Crazy. And let me repeat what I said earlier about Talib Kweli. He didn't refute any of it. And none of these other folks that I see have come online to refute anything that I've seen. The only person that I noticed that came on and said something was Tevin Campbell, or it was said that he said. I ain't seen Tevin Campbell say nothing. But she made a comment about Tevin Campbell being a prostitute. But it's interesting when she said it right now. Millie said, you're not getting that much control ever. Tracy said, Will and Jada Crickets. Oh, I forgot about that part. Okay, let me hit this real quick. Damn, that made me lose my train of thought. What was I talking about before I saw Will and Jada Crickets? We talked about Diddy. Oh, somebody help me. I was on, my mind is overloaded. I'm telling you, Corey, it was great. Oh, I was saying that nobody has refuted it, with the exception of Tevin Campbell. I heard 2 videos where it was said that Tevin said that she better keep her name out of his mouth because he would have his lawyers on wait if she did that. If she don't stop talking his name. But this is what's interesting about Tevin. What she said about Tevin, I don't think she said to get at Tevin. What she said was, she was talking about the godlessness of this industry, right? And so she said, how does a boy, a man with the kind of voice and the talent that a Tevin Campbell has finds himself or ends up on Hollywood Boulevard selling his body as a prostitute? How does that happen? That's how she mentioned Tevin Campbell. But then apparently people said that Tevin Campbell said she don't have no proof of that, and she better keep her name out of her mouth. And then I heard one influencer say she never heard that either, but she said what I found when I did my research, she was a young person, so she probably wouldn't be around when we were, when I was anyway, when I was around for that. But she said, I found in some old newspapers or what have you, some old articles where it said that Kevin was buying, that he got picked up for soliciting, not for selling. And so my thought is she might have got that part mixed up, but I've heard that he was selling his body too. I never saw it written anywhere, but I certainly heard it. But anyway, apparently Tevin didn't like that and said something about it. However, I ain't seen Tevin say nothing. I've seen two influencers say that it was said that Tevin said. I ain't heard Tevin say nothing either. And so that if that's the case, nobody has come on to refute anything. That shit Talib Kweli did was not any refutation. He should have sat down somewhere like they told him, because he incriminated him and them more than he did if he didn't shut his ass up and say nothing. All right. Will and Jada, I'm coming back to that. So Vita said, that is why people are always talking about singing non-disclosures. Oh yeah, when they are around SARS, that's right. Jimmy Fallon crickets. Oh Lord. Will and Jada. I'm just gonna give you the short version because I'm on overload too at this point. According to her, Jada is the man in that family, not Will, not Will. And basically, what it comes down to, she talks about how different young men. Alcina was one. Brashear was the other one. Brashear, the boy from Empire. Brashear was the other. And I can't think of the other young man. I don't think I knew who the other young man was, which is probably why I can't remember him. But she talked about how all three of them were ushered to the Smith compound by somebody who works for them, somebody named Charlie, I think she says. The way she tells his story, she makes very clear her belief is, or what the word on the street is, or what is that Will and Jada are super swinging sexual freaks, and that they pull people in for Jada and maybe some for Will, but we're talking about these men right now for their own sexual pleasures. So the influencer said, the interviewer said, for Jada or for Will, she said, well, ain't they one and the same? Didn't you know that? And then she said, what did she say on the Red Table Talk? They said, and then she said the quote that they said, I can't remember what it is, but the point of it was, we ride together, we die together. Something about the marriage being bad, we gonna still die, ride together, something like that. But the point of it is, we in this thing together. We ride until the wheels fall off. Period. Even if it's horrible, we gonna be in it together. She said they told you that to your face. They wanted the same. So she kind of, and she mentioned some drug stuff in it, and the way she tell it, they may have been responsible. Where I understood it is they may have been responsible for some of the issues that Brashear had on set in terms of drug abuse and stuff. It just horrible. And she said, she talked about bad marriage for life. That's right. That was the way they ended, bad marriage for life. And she talked about how their kids, she said, but basically, why do you think their kids go through all the issues they go? Because they've seen more than any of us know. But anybody who's somebody know that they into all kind of shit. I'm like, relax, relate, release. Relax, relate, release. Vita said, get Mike Pence, fly out your house. You see, girl, it's a gnat. If I can't get rid of it. You see him? Mike Pence or Trump, it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. So, all right. She called Sean Puffy Cone. She called him Honeycomb. She said, because he's so sweet. She talked about him being a maniacal manipulator. She talked about how he kept goons around. I told you what the process was for for attaining and acquiring talent, or no, non-talent, so that he can have what he wants from them people. He even went into, and I can't get into all that because I didn't finish the videos about this, but she even talks about Kim Porter. She talks about Aaliyah and that whole thing with R. Kelly. She said from what she knows, she said there are probably 25 R. Kellys in the industry. That's why they ain't telling on nobody. Because there's so many of them. She said what he's done has been so regular and so normal that, he only one of many, but ain't nobody gonna tell nothing because they all been involved. She said that he killed Kim Porter over her new book. Yeah, that's basically what she said. She sure did. I was like, I'm telling you, this shit is heavy. Heavy. Okay, you will get the joke when you look at your Facebook page. Okay. it must have been on there too. This shit is heavy. So I'm gonna leave it there, and I'm just gonna tell y'all this. Out of all the videos that I've seen come across about Jaguar Wright in the last 2 months or so, I only watched maybe 20% of them. So she is talking, right? So here we go. Here's my questions. What do you think is truly going on with Jaguar Wright? Have you seen any of the footage yourself? We talked about that, okay? Does she appear to be having a nervous breakdown? I wondered about that. I've known some people who ain't quite right? And I wondered about that. Or is this simply another uncovering of another wretched institution that we have been succumbed to, we have been under? Vita says she thinks she's fed up. I think she's fed up too. Tracy says she also said where she lives and that she sure did. She said it, and she keeps saying, she says over and over, you don't like it, or you don't believe it, or you don't like what I said, then sue me. And then she says, I live in Texas. And she said over and over, I tell y'all know exactly where I live, or we can get it. You can meet me. I ain't scared of none of y'all. And I care. I live in Texas so I can carry. That's why I'm here, But I tell you where I am. She said, if you want to meet me, and then she'll give there are 2 airports that she mentioned. You can meet me at such and such airport, or you can meet me at the other one. It don't matter to me. Just let me know when, if that's what you want to do. I'm ready for it, if that's what you want to do. She said, because I'm gonna say what I have to say. It is what it is. Corey said, I have a headache. Thank God I have no talent in the arts. It's a lot. Tracy said, I don't think anything is wrong with her. I think she's burning down the industry, like she said. I didn't hear her say burning down the industry, but I think that's what she's doing. Tracy, so here's the thing. In terms of her being crazy, I don't know. She dragged the judge too. What judge? Oh, yeah, the judge, her judge. Yes, she did. Ooh, did she drag her? I was raised by a military dad. I ain't scared. Yes, she did say that. I'm thinking about, like I said, she has some of the tendencies of somebody who might be manic to me. I've seen manic. My father was manic. I've seen it in some other people. Here recently, I've seen it in some other folks. So she kind of feel like that to me. It looks like that to me. It feels like that to me. But at the same time, I also believe, and I know that we are in a dispensation where I believe God is uncovering all that is ungodly and unjust. If you look at, every major institution, he is just pulling the covers off. It's like, it's just like this. Just if people have been if there are, did y'all see on TV? I just saw this last time. I said, God, do y'all know that? I'm not surprised about the findings. I'm surprised that it's on TV as a class action suit. That they're bringing a class action suit against the Boy Scouts of America for molestation of little boys. Did y'all know that? When I saw that, I said, this thing is, it reminds me of the scriptures that we heard when we were kids. One of the things that we always taught is everything that's done in the dark will come to light. I heard that and I heard it. That was pretty much it. I heard it. But I'm telling you, in these days that we're living in, these past 3, 4, 5 years, I've seen a whole lot of them scriptures come to pass. And one of the things is exactly this. He is uncovering all that which is ungodly. I really believe it. This is another industry. We've always heard about the bacchanalia that has taken place, that has controlled the music industry. We've always heard that, but it seemed like it was just a conspiracy because nobody come from the inside talking about it. But I know I've heard the stories over the years. I've heard the stories about, we've heard about those seances and private parties that are really orgies, and the trickery of how they get people involved and how they get people what do you call it, how they get people compromised. She talks a lot about that. She talked about one thing. She said, I see your text. I'm gonna go to them in just 1 second. One thing she said was, she talked about how the men would oftentimes take a cup, put an agent on their lip that will knock somebody out. So we're talking about something like a roofie, or if not a roofie itself, right? Put it on their lip and then ask a young woman at one of those parties, could they have a sip of her drink? When she gave them a sip, they would do this, hand the cup back to them. And when the girl got the shit on her lip, she passed out. She said, next thing you know, she said, she wake up in a bathtub, having been done by 5 or 6 men or more. She said this was the regular, this is the regular practice. The regular practice. That was just one example of the misogyny that she said take place on a regular basis. So for me, I feel like it's just another uncovering of another industry. We have seen it in the church. Big time. We ain't seen all that we gonna see. But let me just say this. Let me go here with the church, which is really interesting. But everything is stopped. But this is interesting to me. There was so much of that stuff coming out. There's another guy I follow on YouTube. His name is Dawson. The name of his channel is Dawson Speaks. He has 2 channels, Dawson Speaks and Dawson, it don't matter. Dawson Speaks is the main one. He is a guy like myself, was raised in church, like some of you was raised in church. I want to say the Kojic church. Like myself, has become a very critical thinker of it. So he's eating the meat, spitting out the bones, and has become critical enough that he is crying loud and saving no one. So he reports typically on church scandal. That's typically what he reports on. The stuff that I hear on a regular basis, regular, I can look at him at least twice a week. He's got a new report at least twice a week of the horrible. Oh, Vita says she know Dawson. Horrible stuff that go on in the church. Horrible. And I mean on a regular. Like I said, I can get at least 2 videos a week. And he's a good reporter too. He's by profession, he's a social worker. That's why that kind of thing interests him. But just watching Dawson let me know that It's regular in the church. This shit is regular. But what's interesting to me is they can't gather no more. They can't get together for the most part. They can't get together for all that shit they was doing. And I think it's interesting that during this time that we are away from each other, that we are separated. This is, I think, the time that people are going to realize that they're going to find new ways to meet God. Right? They're going to develop relationships that are strictly vertical and not horizontal. And I think it's a fabulous thing. So we've seen it in the church, we've seen it in education. And I'm not even talking about this pandemic, but this has shown us a lot that we didn't know about. I mean, or we had an idea about or may have hinted at, but the disparities in education. That shit has been exposed. But even before then, there was so much scandal. When I moved to Atlanta and started working, right when I first started working, they were coming off a scandal that had rocked, that they found that everybody, including that the superintendent, was ahead of it. The whole testing scandal that caused them to actually put teachers in jail. When I went, they were starting an investigation. When I left Atlanta, they were completing investigation and jailing principals and teachers. And the superintendent died of cancer before they could put her in. Ain't that something? Then I came back to Michigan. They were doing the same stuff here. So I know that they ain't just the places I've gone. So you got education, you got church, you got arts and entertainment, you got politics. We can keep going. But all these institutions, we have seen major overhaul. Well, they ain't overhaul like they're going to be overhauled, but it's coming. But we've seen major exposure. And I think, even though there may be something going on, some kind of manic stuff that possibly is going on with Jaguar, she is also being the tool who, in all her courage and maybe rage or whatever she's feeling, is not afraid to cry loud and save no one. Tracy said he better than Larry Reed. Yes and no. Larry Reed, Larry real silly. And I like Larry. I actually became Larry. I'm actually a Patreon. I'm on his Patreon. And I just did. I've never done that before, but I've done it because of where Larry went, where he's gone with his platform, and where I want to go. And I know that I believe that you should sow into people, sow into folk, especially if you want to glean, right? So for that reason, I just became a patron of Larry Reed's last week. He's different than Larry Reed. He's very he's serious. Yeah, he ain't gonna do very much laughing and giggling at all. He will do a little bit, but I mean a little bit. He reports that information. He comments on it, and he don't mince no words about it. I like Dawson a lot. So yeah, Larry is different. When I sit down and listen to Larry, but he's a learned man. He's very knowledgeable. But when I listen to Larry, 70% of it, is really good stuff. And the other might be good, but he's just silly. He's just really, really silly. And he's silly a lot. So, that's neither here nor there. And then Vita says Dawson and Denise. That's the other channel. Yep. That's his sister, Denise. Dawson and Denise. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was a good one. So if you have not, if you ain't up on that Jaguar stuff, y'all might want to check it out if you haven't done it, but you got to have some time, and you don't want to do it when you are already stressed out or whatever, because it's a lot. It's just like Corey said, her head was bothering. Yeah, your head might be bothering. You got to really be in the mood for that. But it's interesting. I'm interested to see how this plays out. But I do think that she's being used. And when I say used, I think she's being used by higher power. I really do. I think she's being used. I really do. I don't think, I'm not sure. I'm not saying that there's something else going on. I'm not saying that there isn't a possibility that she I don't know, maybe I want to say like that maybe she could have an ulterior motive. What's interesting is she already said that she had a book coming out, but I'm not sure what's going to be in the book because she's telling everything. Seemed like to me. I don't know what she holding back. I said, what could be in the book that she ain't telling? I mean, I can't imagine. What could she say except maybe the color of somebody's panties, or maybe the color is. And who cares about that? I mean, she said so much. I don't know what else there's for her to say. But she said she's got no documentary. She said coming out. So we can't, or I can't even honestly say, oh, that's her ulterior motive. She's trying to get people for a documentary. No, I don't think that's it. Talking too much for that. So I think that she's being used, I think that she Esther for such a time as this. I do. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with me. This has been good. I have enjoyed it. I'm gonna just backtrack real quickly. So we talked about the pandemic, shamdemic. Pictures. What you mean, Millie? Tell me what you mean by that. And having that exit plan, and it sounds like everybody on here has an idea about an exit plan. That's a wonderful thing. If you have more, like I said, I'm gonna meet one lady from one family, or at least one woman from the 19 families who are preparing for that city in Georgia. When I get that information after the Zoom tomorrow, I'm gonna share that with you all in case you all may be interested, because I know that the discussion is going to have to do with the possibilities for to invest. So I will share that with y'all. Yeah, I had a good time too. I will share that information with y'all. We are still headed to Gambia in February. If you are interested in that, get with me, because Corey and I are still we on track to go, and my family, of course, we are on track to go. If we can, we're going. Currently, the borders are open, and tomorrow morning I have an appointment to renew my baby's passports. So we're on track to go in February if God say the same. And if things change and we can't, then we're going as soon as we can go. But if you're interested in that, get back with me on that. So there are several things that I just kind of been looking at, opportunities that I want to share with those who are close to me for business, for investment, or for some kind of opportunity. So ownership, some kind of ownership. So I want to make sure that I share that information with you all. And if you all have any information, share it with the rest of us. If you got something else that'll help us fashion our lives, in the way that we want to see it in the future, out on the other side of this pandemic. If you got something that's going to cause our help us to plan for afterglow instead of aftermath, share that with us. Please share the stream. I appreciate y'all. I had a wonderful time. Oh, and I got a giveaway. I like giving silver. Tracy, did you get your earrings? I put your earrings in the mail. I put it yesterday, so you might not get them. Might not have them. I can't lie. Millicent said maybe the book has pictures. Not a book. I thought it was a book. No, it's a documentary. A documentary ought to have a whole lot of pictures. That's a good point. Now that's a good point. Girl, I'm scared to see some of that stuff though. Good God Almighty. Because I'm gonna tell you, that R. Kelly thing had me weak. See you later, Trey. Did you get your earrings? Let me know. That thing had me. I'm telling you, I had nightmares after that R. Kelly shit. And I made my 16-year-old watch it just because I wanted her to know. I wanted her to see how easy it is for people to get pulled in, for girls to get pulled in unexpectedly, But she was like, oh my God, I gotta keep watching. Yes, watch it. Watch every bit of it. Yes. So, all right, giveaway. I got a giveaway. So we'll do it the same way we normally do it. Put a number in the box. I'm gonna put a number on this paper, and then you put a number in the box, and then I will hold up the number, and the person who has a number closest to that will win the giveaway. So I have my number. Please put a number in the box, and we can give this goodie to somebody. Tracy, don't you want to put it before you go? If you ain't gone, put a number in the box. Put a number in the box. Put a number in the box. Okay. No, between 1 and 100. Number between 1 and 100. I should have said that. Okay, I got 5 from Life Her Way. Tracy, put a number in the box. If you get it, because God wants you to have it, I guess. Put a number in the box. All right. So I got 5. I got 12. I need one from Corey and one from Trace. If you get it this time, you on a lucky streak. We can't be mad at that. All right. So Trace, I don't know if Sonny is still here. If he is, put a number in the box. One more, Tracy. I see you still ain't put a number, Corey. I still don't see your number either. So I'm gonna wait a minute. I enjoyed y'all tonight. I really did enjoy it. Going once. I only see 2 numbers. That's Vita and Millie. Going once. Going twice. 3 times, lady. All right. Okay, there it is. Corey, I put in 41. Do you see it? I see it now. All right. So we got 41. Tracy, I don't see yours. I think you trying to be smart ass. Okay, there you go. All right. So I got 5, 12, 41, and 65. And the number is 28. Can you see that? 28. So who that get? Who that is? 28 would be 12, I think. Y'all help me. Math is not my thing. So no, it's probably 41. Is it 41? I think it's 41. It is 41. 41. So 41 is Corey Howell. Corey, you won. You won. All right. So here is. See that? Topics, tantrum, and tea. You see that? It's a mouse pad. It's a mouse pad. Because you said it's Millie. Where is Millie? 12. Is it? Okay, I'm going to figure this out when I get up there. If it's whoever it is, they getting it. So that's it. Mouse pad. So y'all see my logo? Is it cute? I wanted the face to be a little more chunky and the arms be a little rounded. A little more rounded. And my kids told me, leave it alone, Mama. You're going to mess something up. I was like, but I let both of them vote and they told me to leave it. So there we are. All right. So Corey said it's her. I'm going to figure out for sure. Wherever it is, one of y'all going to get it. I'm going to let y'all know. I'm going to do the math because my mind right now, I can't depend on it because I put 2 extended shots of that Southern Comfort and it's doing a little more than I thought it was going to do. Thank y'all so much. Love y'all to life. I promise you I do. I look forward to. I gotta get through now. Well, maybe I do. Maybe I do. If it's a tie, I will. So I will definitely work on that. I'll figure that out. I am so glad y'all came by. Please do me a favor and share the stream. The last time I looked, I think we had. I want to say 340, I think, in terms of subscribers. I'll check it out for sure. But I'm excited about that. And I told y'all 2 of those videos have more than 2,000 hits. So thank y'all. Thank y'all for helping. I appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Be safe. And I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday night. Talk to you soon.